Hey, how you doing? Uh, I'm actually making this video for a good friend of mine, for you, Zuzana. So, number one, let me get a disclaimer out. I'm not a doctor, I'm not a this, and I'm not a that. So, all the information I'm about to give you now is through my experience of life and dealing with all my family, relatives, and friends. Um, I wanted to take the time out to record this on a video for you so that you can spend the time and go through it after, you know, we have a conversation together with each other. We're always busy left and right doing everything. So, I'd rather just make a video for you so that you can digest a lot of the information I'm about to give you. I'm going to try to explain this to you in very fundamental forms. Okay? You can always deep dive into it and things of that nature. But I will tell you, I have about 15 friends of mine who's not only lost weight, they cured themselves of diabetes, thyroid problems, cancer, and all of that. And that's just through the information I'm about to provide for you. So I said to myself, okay, what is the best way to explain this thing to you? Okay, this is how I'm going to start. Right now, you have what is known as a degenerative, spine disease, okay? Which I'm not claiming to be a spine doctor or anything of that nature, but let me just explain it to you in the terms that I know and understand, okay? All right. I want you to picture this. Food is coming down the chute, okay? And when food is coming down the chute here, you have an inspector. The inspector says, oh, wow, there's a lot of food coming down the chute. I need to transport the food to your body. So the transport, okay, let me just use this thing as an example. Uh, Give me 1 second. Here we go, I'm back. You have to imagine this little car, okay, is your transport of the food. We're going to call this insulin, all right? So when the food is coming down, all right, I am going to call for a lot of transports so that they can transport the food to the necessary parts of your body to be fed. All right? Now, in simple ways and in simple terms, I'm going to call this insulin. All right? Imagine it as a pickup truck. Okay? Now, when you eat anything like beef, chicken, pork, fish, okay, any sort of animal products, that doesn't feed your body, all right? That actually goes into what is known as a fat tank, not the tank to feed your body, which is the glycogen tank, which you need that in order to fuel your body. You need approximately 3,500 to 4,000 calories in order to feed your body to function. All right? Okay, so we're going to put that to the side right now, and I'm going to give you an example of something. Let's put that to the side. If I put you out in the desert and you're dying and you have nothing to eat whatsoever, okay? What your body will start to do is it will start to break down the muscle protein in your body. When it breaks down this muscle protein, okay, it needs to feed your lungs, your brain, your every function in your body needs energy. Okay? So what they're going to do is they're going to start burning up the protein in your body and create what is known as triglycerides. You heard it right. The triglycerides, the fat, or the sugars, okay, that will feed your body. That's if you had put you out in the desert and you had nothing to eat whatsoever. Okay. Now, we're going to get back to this point over here. So here's the pickup truck. Let's just say you're going to eat some beef, chicken, pork, hamburger. It's going to come down. The inspector is going to say, oh, that's not going to feed your body. All right? So where are we going to put it? Well, it's not going to be on the pickup truck. You know where it's going? It's going to go to your fat tank, which is to the other side here. Okay? And it's just going to store it. That's why people, right, gain a lot of weight. Like that. Okay? Okay? Actually, like this. For me, of course, I'm slim. All right? So the food that's going to come down is put all into your fat tank. But what happened? When the food comes down, the inspector says, send a lot of pickup trucks here. Okay, you see all these pickup trucks? Okay? They're coming here, they're opening up the rear of the tailgate, and there's no food there. And it's going to go down the road here in order for the next inspector. So when it gets down there, they're going to open up the tailgate, okay? And they're going to say, oh my God, there's no food. So your body goes into DEFCON 1. Okay, that means it's dying. All right? It doesn't know that you're not dying. Okay, it just senses all of this insulin or all the pickup trucks coming this way. And the other guy is saying, oh my God, we have all these pickup trucks coming and there's no food there. So what happens? Well, what happens is your body has a mechanism that says, oh my God, I'm dying. So it automatically goes into your so-called muscle, okay? And it starts breaking everything down so it can feed you because it's getting a false signal. The false signal is this insulin, which is the pickup trucks, okay? I hope you're following me. So what happens? Well, what happens is that your body thinks it needs to be fed. So what it's going to do is it's going to start breaking down your muscle protein and create a lot of fat, triglycerides. Okay? And you're probably saying to me, well, Stanley, what about all the hamburger and beef and fish and thing I ate? Well, that's not feeding your body whatsoever. That's being stored in a fat tank. So right now what's happening is that your body is breaking down even more fat, okay, to try to feed you properly, okay? It's going to go to this area, open up the thing, there's nothing going to be there, so they start breaking down the walls, and all this triglycerides, which is the sugars and the fats, are starting to go down your veins, all right? And what happens is it clogs up the holes that are necessary in order to feed your body. So in kind of a way, they call that insulin-resistant type 2 diabetes. That's where all the fat and everything accumulates, okay? And you cannot feed anything through this thing. All right, so I hope you're following me. I know it's a little difficult, but I want you to get the sense of what this is. This is insulin. Pickup trucks are insulin. It's going to another destination, and the inspector is saying, there's nothing there. All right, so we understand that there's things that trigger this reaction. What triggers the reaction? What triggers the reaction is that you're eating beef, chicken, shrimp, or pork, or anything of that nature. And there's a separate YouTube video that I sent you is TMAO, nutritionalfacts.org, with Dr. Michael Greger. He explains things to you, okay? But I'm going to try to explain it to you in a little different way, all right? Listen closely. All right, so you're saying to me, what happens to all the beef, meat, and chicken and pork that I have that's on the side? You know what happens to it? Your liver has to break it down. So your liver, okay, we'll pretend this is your liver, okay? Your liver sends out bacteria, okay? Sends out the bacteria in order to break down all of the fat that you just ingested, all the meats and protein. The chemical process that is taking place between your stomach and the bacteria from your liver, okay, it's going to create TMAO, trimethylene N oxide. That's like a sulfur acid, okay? Now, I want you to imagine a volcano, a big volcano, all right? When you eat all the meat, beef, chicken, and pork, the liver is going to send out the bacteria in order to break it down. That's the sulfur acids, okay? You got to imagine the street that you're on is nice and smooth, and all of a sudden you get the lava flow coming down. I mean, lava, you know what I mean? Sulfur acids. It's going to break it down a lot, and it's going to deteriorate your walls. And not only that, it's going to deteriorate the bones in your back. And you say to yourself, how can it do that? Well, I'm going to mention something to you, and don't be embarrassed, okay? When you eat eggs and you pass gas, okay, there's a sulfur smell in that. You ever wonder where that comes from? Where that comes from is it comes from the breakdown, okay, from your liver with the bacteria called TMAO, trimethylene N oxide, okay? So if it's smelling that bad already, then you know that the rest of the sulfur acids are going all over your body. So your bones, okay, is slowly deteriorating, okay, because of the sulfur acids that's affecting the body, all right? Now, in time, as you get older, what happens is you're going to get kidney failure. And why is that? Well, the kidneys is a part of your human system in which it filters out the bad elements in your body. So you have to imagine all your bone and calcium and things are breaking apart and they're trying to filter. Well, your kidneys eventually is going to clog. And when your kidneys fail, it's all over. You can survive on 1/3 your kidneys as opposed to the whole thing, okay? So let me try not to get too technical with you. I'm just trying to give you a surface idea first, and then I'm going to tell you the things that I've learned, okay? All right. So, number 2, what I wanted to tell you and teach you is this. Number 1, when you eat rice, potatoes, chickpeas, black bean, corn, starch, that's what feeds your body, okay? And that does not produce a heavy insulin spike and stay there. It produces a light insulin spike and then flattens out, and your body does not go into DEFCON 1 because it's being fed the right foods. The right foods is starch, potatoes, rice, okay, bread. You go, oh my God, how in the world can I eat bread? It's got all the sugar. Well, that's the fallacies that people make into you, all right? So let me just tell you something. All right, number 1, it takes approximately 26 calories to convert starch into 1 gram of fat, okay? You have to imagine, if I called you to run your ass off for an hour, you may only be able to burn maybe 250, maybe 300 calories. Can you imagine? 26 calories to convert into 1 gram of fat. Now, if I tell you eat anything like hamburger, chicken, beef, or pork, it only takes 3 calories to convert that into fat. The process is called de novo lipogenesis, okay? As the human body, we're very smart and we're very intelligent. Not us here, the human body. They know what's right, they know what's wrong. Okay? So, what I have found, okay, and what the information I have given you will indicate to you how to feed your body correctly. All right? We need about 90% starches, 10% fruits and vegetables. Okay? And you say to yourself, well, I heard that if I eat, rice or potatoes or that, I'm going to get fat. You're not going to get fat. Okay? You don't even have to worry about that. You're going to start to make sure that you yourself are feeding yourself properly. I wish I could introduce to you some of the people that I've worked with in my past. Like I have a coworker, Emilio. He lost about 25, 35 pounds already just by listening to the correct information that I've given you. Okay, and I'm going to give you this information also. I know I may be long-winded, but I really wanted you to listen to this, okay? My other friends down at the park that I work at, some of them are very young, relatively young, you know what I'm saying, in their 20s, okay? And he's a nice kid. His name is Nate, okay? And he decided, let me listen to Stan a little bit, and let me try it out. So I said to him, well, what do you eat in the morning? And I said to him, you know what? You got to get rid of those eggs and bacon and cheese and all that. That's nothing but crap. You got to get oatmeal, bananas, okay? You have to learn how to eat an orange and an apple. And you say, how can I eat an orange? It's so sweet. It's going to cause me to get fat. It's not going to cause you to get fat. And the fallacy is that when you start eating the correct foods, as in a real orange, not orange juice, nothing from concentrate, nothing like you just pour into it. It's got to be real. The orange itself will help you heal the inside of your artery, okay? Not only that, provide necessary nutrients for you to heal up. Apples are an easy way for you to have what is known as fiber. Now, I'm going to get into all the discussion about fiber with you later, but if I start discussing about fiber and the micronutrients in it, it's going to get you really confused. So let's start on a very low-key thing in what to do and how to start healing yourself, okay? All right, now, I'm going to try to describe this to you so that you understand it, okay? And then I'm going to give you some examples of people and YouTube, very famous people on YouTube. They can explain things much better than I can for you, all right, that have totally healed. I've had a lot of people in my lifetime that I love very, very much, and they listened to me. And not only did they listen to me, okay, and thank God, I'm not a religious person, so if you want to know that, all right? So that's the way it is, all right? But some of them had stage 4 cancers, and all of them are cured, okay? I had some friends who were like congestive heart failures, and they're all cured, okay? I had friends who had thyroid problems, and they're all cured. Goldstone problems, and they're cured, okay? I'm not saying I know everything, but it basically goes like this. If you take a blood test, and you take your test, and it's showing up bad, then you got a problem. You're not going down the right path, all right? So what is it that I suggest you do? Okay, number 1, we have to start cleaning up your diet, all right? You have to go plant-based, all right? 90% starches, 10% fruits and vegetables. Let's start off nice and simple. Oatmeal and bananas in the morning, okay? Don't worry about anything. It's nice and easy to make oatmeal. It's nice and cheap, inexpensive. We're not worrying about the cost, but it's going to be a lot cheaper than what you've been spending on right now. So you have to understand what I'm telling you, okay? Now, you're allowed to eat pasta, okay? You're allowed to eat bread, rice, potatoes. You are not going to get fat. But don't be putting in margarine, olive oil, and things of that nature. You got to cut that out. No more juices. You can make smoothies, which is 90% greens or 80% greens and about some fruits in there. You can put in apples, strawberries, bananas, and things like that. Again, I'm trying to just clean up your diet in the very beginning, give you a fundamental basis and where to start and what to do. When you start this program, okay, make sure you don't start eating peanut butter. I think it's 1 teaspoon of peanut butter is like 15 grams of fat, all right? And especially avocado. I know you're gonna say, people are gonna say, oh, it's great, omega-3s and all that. That's bullshit, okay? It's got a lot of fat content in it. And don't be fooled by these people that are telling you whatever. Omega-3 is for anti-inflammatory situations in your arteries. Omega-3 is like flax seeds, chia seeds, okay, hemp seeds. The best one to use is ground flax seeds. Okay, that will start healing up all your arteries. If you want to clean up the inside of your artery, okay, you need cruciferous vegetables like broccoli, kale. Spinach is more or less, it'll help open up the arteries, but you need cruciferous vegetables. You can put in a lot of spinach. In the morning, try to make yourself containers of smoothies and put it in the refrigerator so that you just take it in the next morning and it's done. You don't have to go through making all of this stuff. It'll drive you crazy. You know how we had food prep? You know how we like go into the refrigerator and then we make it up and put it there, and then next couple mornings we can take it out? Like me, I wake up in the morning. So what? Mom has already made up all this oatmeal for me. So I go into the refrigerator. I of course it's thick, right? And it's made up from water, no milk, no eggs. Okay. So I pop it in the microwave because it's already been cooked already. It's already in the refrigerator. All you do is just take it out, pop it in the microwave. How easy is it just to slice a couple of bananas, throw it in there, and you're done for the day, right? And what would be even better, like my friend Dave Hutchins, which I love him. Okay, I call him the Kenny Rogers. He's at 276. He's already lost 12 to 15 pounds already. Okay, that's within a 2-week period. All right, my other buddy, Emilio, within a week and a half, he lost something like 16 pounds. All right, and my other friends, Jamie, all right, she's on some of my YouTube videos also. She's lost a total like 60 pounds. She came in her bikini on her yacht to show me what's going on. I'm so happy for her, but I wanted to tell you about it, all right? So what do we have for lunch? Go make yourself any sort of like pastas, like tortellini noodles with, like throw in cucumbers, apples, beans. You know how to make chili? Okay, no oil, no meat, all right? Celery, onions, carrots. You can use pinto beans, your ketchup, molasses, however you like to season it, okay? You can make paella, the rice, okay? Just watch the oil, all right? You can make it with onion. You can make it with saffron. You can make it with anything. Just make a lot of rice and beans. My friend Nate, he eats nothing but rice and beans. His girlfriend is so jealous of him because he eats so much and he loses so much weight. So I gave them a couple of notes in order to understand. Number one, an orange and an apple every day. And you say to yourself, how can I do that? Well, before you try to eat a dinner or a lunch or something of that nature, try to eat an apple. You know why I said eat an apple? It's not for all this nutritional content, which it does have, and antioxidants, okay? Antioxidant, anti-rust, okay? It's basically so that there's fiber in your diet, which basically means, you ever see an M&M candy? Hard on the outside, soft on the inside? Well, what happens is that the apple will engulf the things that you eat. and it'll be basically like eating 50% of the calories. Can you imagine that? 50% of the calories? All right? So let's try to remember the easiest way, instead of you grabbing broccoli, spinach, this and that on the side, it's going to drive you nuts. How simple it is it just to grab an apple and eat it, and then have rice and beans on the side. People say you're going to pass gas. Oh, yeah, I got a lot of gas. But what the gas is it's actually fermenting inside your gut. That's the good bacteria that actually helps move things along in your body as well as absorb things. The reason why you have gas is because it's fermenting, like sauerkraut. Okay? Don't be eating no yogurt. You got to get rid of all this dairy, this stuff. If you really want to heal yourself of this degenerative bone disease that you have, not just the back, okay, and your joint and your inflammation, you need to understand what I tell you. This is a very long video that I'm sending you right now, but it's giving you like a fundamental idea of what's going on. I'm going to send you some specific, things to look at, and you really have to spend a little time to look at it, okay? Because this is your health. If you want to take care of your child, the worst thing is getting ill. You can't even move. What are you going to do then? Okay? We're not calling you to go run a marathon. You'll never be able to burn the amount of things from a marathon. My friend Dave, he's losing about a pound a day. I mean, we're talking about, 3,500 calories, girl. That's a lot. How many marathons do you have to run in order to lose a pound? Okay? Just by you controlling what you eat and how you eat, okay? You're going to be able to reduce your weight even more than you have, get off of all these medications and stuff of that nature. So, this video is pretty late at night right now, okay? I want to kind of wrap it up with a couple of other things, and I think it's important, all right? Number one, I sent you a YouTube link on Dr. Brooke Goldner. Listen to me closely when I'm about to tell you this, okay? Her story basically is she was a woman who was born with an autoimmune disease called lupus that affects your whole body. It affects all your organs. She needed to take blood tests all the time, okay? She didn't even know how long she was going to live. She didn't even know whether or not she was going to have kids, all right? So as time progressed, and I believe, I could be wrong in this thing, but you can YouTube her and she's going to give you her life story, all right? And she's not selling you anything. She's giving you free information. And it's kind of a shame nowadays that when people look at these things, you know what? Everybody has to make $1 off of something. When something is free, they don't want to tell you about it, okay? So what I'm telling you is this information is because I've had to take care of very sick relatives before. And it wasn't easy, okay? To look at them with the pain and suffering and thinking that you're totally helpless in helping somebody. I mean, it's difficult. But you have to be able to find it in yourself to make the change. I feel kind of sad that it can't help you out more than I can, all right? I'm in a situation right now where the only thing that I can provide you with all my heart is just my knowledge, okay, and my soul of trying to tell you the honest truth of how to heal yourself. So, Dr. Brooke Goldner, when she went to college, okay, she met a guy, and I think his name was Tom. He was some sort of bodybuilder and a professional at teaching people how to build their bodies. And he was very much in love with her, and he still is today. All right? He asked her to marry him. And she said, I got to be honest with you. I have lupus. I may never have children, and I may not live long. And he said, I'd rather live with you in a short time than not live with you at all. So they decided, okay, we're going to tie the knot. So for her wedding, she really wanted to get buff, like you were, Zuzana, right? Listen, I'm nothing but skin and bones, but I play a lot of tennis and I do a lot of cycling, all right? So he sat down and he had to think about it because the people he's worked with, he's kind of like a meat eater. And he knew that she was plant-based. So he and her came up with some pretty good ideas on how to feed her body and get herself bulk so that she can really look good for the wedding. Well, little did they know, they actually came up with a formula that actually cured her of her lupus. And I believe it was within a few months. All right? And so she's trying to profess it to the world now. And I highly recommend you listen to her on her hypernutrition and just go through it. It's not complicated whatsoever. Don't think it's like, some voodoo science or something like that. No. Basically, you have to eat a lot of different greens, okay? Make sure you have a lot of omega-3s. Omega-3s is not the fish. Omega-3s is like ground flax seeds, chia seeds, and things of that nature in a ground form, okay? And it won't be that expensive for you whatsoever, so you have to look at it carefully. You can go to Indian markets in order to find all of this stuff, as well as, your regular food market. I mean, how cheap is it to make your own bread? Flour, 50 cents a pound, girl. You don't have to go buying from here and there. And when you make the dough, okay, I'm sure, Zuzana, you know how to make bread. If you don't know how to make bread by now, then you're going to have to call the Chinese guy here. Okay, I'll send you the formula. It's super simple. After you make the bread, put it in the freezer. And then when you want to eat it, take it out, pop it in the microwave, put it in the toaster. Okay? Number 2, chickpeas, black bean, corn. How easy is that? And I'm sure you know how to make your own hummus, right? And if you don't know how to make your own hummus, I'll send you the recipes. So don't worry about that, all right? No oil, okay? Very little tahini. Tahini is even more fattening than peanut butter. And don't be misled by these people telling you, well, it's a good oil, it's the bad oil, it's the whatever oil. That's all bullshit, okay? Coconut oil, olive oil, and all that stuff, it's oil. It's very fattening and it's very inflammatory. That's going to cause you all of the pains that you have, okay? Now, for myself, I found this out many years ago, maybe about 16 years ago, and I remember you remember me back then, okay? And at that time in my life, I was going through a couple of things, okay? And let's not get into my story of my life for now. This is about you, okay? So I'm taking the time out to make this video for you. Another thing about all of this is you have to understand, okay, Dr. Brooke Goldner, you have to have a basic fundamental from Dr. John McDougall on the starch solution. He'll give you the fundamentals of just basic eating, what's going on around. Then I would deep dive into Dr. Michael Greger, how not to diet, how not to die, and how not to age. He has 3 audiobooks. I don't want you to spend a lot of money on anything. Okay, so in the very beginning, I sent you the YouTube links, okay, where you can get a basic fundamental idea. It's not hard. It's just you have to make the decision to do it, okay? You don't have to go exercise. You'll never be able to exercise away everything, okay? And please don't think, I know that there's drugs out there to help people, and I always say, double check with your doctor, okay? But concerning everything else that you've ever learned, okay, it must not be right because you're in that condition. So right now, okay, I'm not using myself as an example, but my waist is the same size as it was when I was in high school. Okay, my LDL is 61. My HDL, last time I took it was 51. It should be lower, but that's what it is, okay? My triglycerides are 76. That should be lower also. But I'm compared to the regular average person, okay? I'm leaps and bounds ahead of anybody. My blood pressure in the morning, honest to God, okay? My diastolic is below 80. And my systolic, I'll tell you personally, if I don't get a call from my sister, okay, it's 135, sometimes maybe in the high 120s, okay? I go play tennis, I watch myself, okay, and I don't go too crazy on everything. I thank the Lord that so far so good. I don't have anything. I don't take any medications. I don't drink. I don't take any drugs. And I'm very blessed to have very good friends around me, a good life that I lead, and as much as I can do. Okay, I wish I had more. I always wish I had more. And I know that you believe me, but if I did, you know where I would be and who I would be helping. Okay, and that's you. So, going on, let's wrap all of this up. Okay, I'm going to send you some YouTube links. Dr. Brooke Goldner, okay, John McDougall, Dr. Michael Greger, okay. Dr. John McDougall is the starch solution. You can YouTube that, get a lot of information from him on that. It's easy. You don't have to go buy no books, okay? And concerning Dr. Michael Greger, yes, he has very specific audio books, but you can find it all on his YouTube links. His websites are basically from YouTube or nutritionalfacts.org. So you can find out a lot about that. But let's not go deep dive into all of this stuff. Make it plain and simple, okay? 90% starches, 10% fruits and vegetables. Let's try to eliminate all of the oils, fats, and meats, and you will not starve. But I don't want you just to eat lettuce. You're going to starve. You need to eat rice, potatoes, starches, okay? You need to eat that. And you may wake up the next morning a couple pounds heavier, but that's not fat. That is glycogen stores, which you will lose within one day. Because just by you breathing, you're going to consume about 3,500 calories. So, again, I'm trying to do the best for you, okay? I wish you were here so that I can hold you and tell you that I care, okay? And I want to let you know that I'm trying to do my best to provide you little information, a fundamental basis